welcome to a brand new episode of NESportscast with, as always and forever, Ricky and Larry. What's going on, Rick? How
till the end of time,
till the ends of the world? How you doing?
I'm okay, brother. Yeah, I'm all right. A bit shocked, but I'm okay. But otherwise, shocked in football terms. But like within myself, I'm good, man. How are you?
Are you still? Are you still shocked? It's been
I'll be honest,
3/4
48 hours.
It's been 3/4 of a season.
No, I don't mean the performance. I mean, I'm just shocked on the fact that Mr. GP got sacked.
To
be honest with you, I thought he's going to be there till the end of the season.
We should listen to your boy Larry because I've been calling for this for time, and it finally happened. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm as surprised as you are, and I don't know why you're that surprised.
I'm surprised because it should have came a lot sooner, and then you're like, well, why now? Do you know what I mean? Like, what did he do now? Unless there's things behind the scenes that we don't know about. Of course, there's rumors. Only 4 players wished him well and thanked him for being the manager. That's 4 out of 25. And those players were like, I think, Muduweka, Chile, N'Golo Kante, which NG was probably just being polite because he's been more in the treatment room than he has working with GP.
Yeah, but you only had 1 game on the GP, didn't you?
Yeah, under 1 game, probably a week of training, but thanked him regardless. And I think Koulibaly or the other one, something like that. So yeah, but I think his main thing comes down to he lost the dressing room with his tactics. And if we jump straight into it, if we look at that Saturday's game very quickly, what the hell was Ruben Loftus-Cheek doing playing right wing back and Reece James playing centre back? You saw the difference in
those were the worries.
And we couldn't get forward on that right hand side. Everything was limited on the right hand side because Ruben is not Reece James. He could not do what Reece James does. And I didn't understand with Trevor Trelobah sitting in the bench, Badishila being on the bench, like centre halves.
I didn't understand why Badishila was on the bench. It still baffles me, because he is, he has been your best defender since he signed.
Since he signed, has been amazing. Obviously, with Thiago being off, he's been really good. Like the whole team has been average, but there's been moments of players who have been really good. And if we just look at the Saturday's game, Enzo was okay, Kova was fine, we had chances, Mudryk had his chance, which you can understand he wanted to score. A lot of Chelsea fans got a Mudryk appreciation page saying, thank God he did not pass this to Havertz because it led into Graham Potter getting a sack.
Yeah.
That chance, I don't know if you've seen that. Yes, he's his hero now, yeah.
The thing is with Mudryk, I've got it here, Mudryk should have had at least 2 clear-cut chances. Just
2 goals.
Clear, one-on-one. How are you not controlling that?
The one-on-one, he took that too early, didn't he?
He did. And again, maybe just inexperience at this sort of level. I don't know what it is, but it shows.
I think it was a desperation. You could see the desperation in him as well. Desperate to score, that he didn't have no composure. Composure to try and put the ball in the back of the net. And that one when he got played through, obviously he had his speed, so he was 1-on-1 with the keeper. This is Saturday's game I'm referring to.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he just took it too early, and Martinez obviously then he just saved it. And what he should have done is took an extra yard in and then made the decision, okay, let me just smash it in the corner. But again, it's lack of experience maybe in the Premier League, thinking he's got less time than he actually does. Maybe he doesn't know he's that quick because I think he was like 3 yards in front of the nearest defender and he still took the shot too early.
He's like a child that started walking and then and it's like, what? I'm doing
a child that's soft play. That's the way to describe him. A child that's soft play, running everywhere and sometimes not even knowing what's happening.
No, I think with Mudryk, in a way, yes, you're right, and the Chelsea fans are right that obviously, may potentially that not his personal performance, but the whole team, I think with Potter, I think you're right. They probably had goals at certain stages of the season, like, oh, you need to be here, and then maybe 2 or 3 of those goals have passed without him, without Potter achieving them, and then maybe now it's like, well, look, after this point, this is literally the point of no return now, and maybe this is what he was waiting for. Well, sorry, not Bowley was waiting for, because clearly, he should have done it a long time ago. But maybe, maybe it was just mid-season goals that Graham Potter had to reach, and he just didn't. He really, really didn't. And that game against Villa, it was against Villa, wasn't it, on the weekend? Yeah. The game against Villa, I think that should have been yours. You had better chances. You were a lot more alive as a team. And look, your striking force is just non-existent.
That's it. That's some of the notes that I made down here as well. Like, obviously, at first you look at the team sheet and you think, okay, I can see that, but one player, what's he doing there? When you've got centre backs in the bench, and that's what I mentioned about Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing right wing back. I didn't understand it at all. I did not understand what he was trying to do.
Because
like you say, we played well.
James?
James was a right centre-back of the three. He was the right of the three.
Badishila was on the bench.
Badishila was on the bench. Trevor Chalobah was on the bench, who's right-footed and has played right centre-back of the three under, under Thomas Tuchel in the Champions League and the League, in the Club World Cup, in the Super Cup. You know what I mean? The trophies that Chelsea have won, he had played there as well. So, he had solid performances, and that's why he got kept on. But Graham Potter somehow didn't seem to want to trust him.
No,
but like you said as well, we played well though, didn't we? We had chances to actually win the game. We should have been 2-0, 3-0 up really early on.
You did,
and then the mistake is what cost us kind of like.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, I watched the Chelsea match, parts of it, and then I went back and watched Match of the Day. And what I said to you in the group was like, you didn't perform that well, but obviously you did. Chelsea performed quite well.
No, we had the chances.
Just bringing that to the closing stages, of the final attack, and that's where it all goes wrong. It's like it seems like your players, they're just not understanding. The goal is there, and you need to attack it at some point. And you can say confidence all you want, but I mean, it's coming up to a whole season, and
no, I hear why you say that, but I think the confidence is just confidence in the tactics. I don't think they trust the tactics, and it looks like the manager left. Similar to tonight as well. A lot of people just wanted to play a 10.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to be that number 9, that centre forward, just run into the box and just make runs, just be there, like anticipate the ball coming in the box. Reece James was crossing on Saturday and nobody would get in the end of him, or even attempting to get on the end of him. Same with Chilwell. But
who was going to get onto the end of him? I mean, you had a perfect player in someone like a Giroud, for example. Obviously, I don't want to rehash the past.
No, of course, yeah.
That's a sort of player that you think, initially you think, Giroud in it, but then when you
Giroud got goals, man. Giroud was a centre forward. Like the way we're playing, we need a Giroud.
Yeah,
we need a Giroud. We need a Diego Costa. We need a Didier Drogba, an Ivan Toney. I even put it on the group chat as well. We need an Ivan Toney. And
I think that's one of probably a great purchase if we go down that route. Yeah,
but the more we need him, the more his price tag is going to increase. If he starts being a regular for England and plays and scores, and obviously being English, he's going to cost 300 million.
And Brentford will know that as well. Obviously, watching Chelsea throughout the season, they'll know that you will need and you will pay over.
We need a striker, and we'll have to pay over the price to try and get him in. But no, like overall Saturday, I was disappointed with the result, but it wasn't disappointing to see some of the performance. Like I said, Enzo Fernandez has been fantastic. I think since he started, he needed a couple of games to adjust.
He's been one of your great players.
I critiqued him as well at the beginning. If you remember, I was like, what's he doing? Why is he making 2-yard passes, getting really close? But today, and Saturday, even previous games, really good spraying the ball. That quarterback rolled. Just get it, ping here, ping there, intercept, fantastic. Match of the day, man of the match today. But no, the thing that cost us was Cucurella, and you've got to blame Koulibaly as well for taking ownership of that situation. Why is he not shouting?
Yeah,
the ball is about to come and hit him on the head. Just scream.
Yeah, you're the taller defender. That is literally your role. How
take full ownership, but
take control of it.
Yeah, that just happened, and then obviously 1-2 final straw, I guess, bottom half of the league, and
how weird is that? Cucurella obviously, played for Brighton under Potter, and he was a main reason. It was a good reason of why Potter got sacked. But look, how I felt about that situation from the beginning, and we discussed it in depth. And I think I've said this in the group. I need to go and dig out that particular episode. It must have been September, October time. But the main thing was, which came out after he got sacked. He had no respect from the players,
and that's what we said.
How could they respect someone like that? They couldn't, and it still baffles me on the whole appointment of Graham Potter, as I'm sure you are, and most of the Chelsea fans, if not all of them. Because yes, you can give managers chances, but he hasn't. Anyway, look, he
had chance though. Listen, like there was I forgot his name. I think his name is Stephen Warnock. He used to be ex-professional. He was on Sky Sport, and he mentioned just because you've got a lot of players does not mean you have to play them all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What I mean? And it felt like that at the beginning. He was desperate to continue to play. Like, look, pick a formation, pick your players, your starting 11, and just go from there. Then week by week, make either one change or play the same team again. Be like, okay, this is how we improve next week, lads. This is what I want to see. But every time it looked like a different formation, different players out of position. The thing that hurt him so much as well, and I think where he lost the respect of the players, is Brighton away, where he played Sterling and what's his name, Pulisic as left wing back and right wing backs. especially going back to the team that you've just left.
Didn't Pulisic get injured because of that match?
I can't remember.
I'm sure it was either that or the match afterwards. But no,
I think on that one, all I remember is a 3-0 because that was shocking. That was really 3-0 or 3-1, I think it finished. But yeah, you can't go back to the team that you've just left. It's going to be a hostile environment and do that. But you know what? He thought he was making some tactical changes, genius, but yeah, it backfired. It backfired. It didn't work at all. It just hit him in the ass. Whereas today's game, really well. I thought we were very good.
Today's game, I'm just looking at the stats for Saturday's game, and you know, it's clear that Chelsea should have won that match. Like everything here is just on their side. Like, you know what I mean? The stat side is just going on.
Yeah, Chelsea. Everything's Chelsea.
They had a 2.2 expected goals compared to Villa's 0.8.
And they scored 2.
And they scored 2 goals.
I think they had 2 shots on target, yeah.
Wait, what shots on target? Let me have a look. Shots on target. They had 5 goal attempts in comparison to Chelsea's 27.
That's what I mean. That's why I was disheartened for the result, but I wasn't disheartened for the attempts and the effort. But yeah, the effort to get in the box was poor.
42 attempts on goal, like shots on target and off target. That's 42 that was sprayed at Martinez, and he had, by the way, 8 saves compared to Kepa's 0.
Yeah, well, they had 2 shots and couldn't get a goal. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I think Bowley probably saw these stats and he was like, "Wait, we're playing really well, but something is not working here." And
what's not working is the man at the top.
Exactly, like you've said before many times. You're not going to get rid of 25 players, are you? You're going to get rid of one person,
of course. And the players there to be coached. And I think as well, like we mentioned, tactics is what plays a key role in this. And also tonight as well, there was a moment where Reece James was talking to the interim manager, and it just seemed to. They was just confusing Reece James. He was like, in a sense of, what more do you want me to do? Like, I'm up and down the pitch, I'm winning the ball, I'm getting crosses in the box, no one's getting in.
Yeah, you can't score as well.
I was annoyed with Felix last game against Villa, and I was annoyed with Felix today as well. Like, he just tries too hard.
It does.
Did you watch the match at all, by the way?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Felix got almost 1-on-1, and then Konate or Matip, one of them, took a foot in and blocked the shot. If you watch the replay, he cuts into his left foot, and you're like, just hit it left foot, cross goal. And then he takes his right foot to try to go towards the defender. The defender's running and somehow takes the ball off him. And everyone's like, "Oh, that was a great defender by Matip." It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was just a wrong decision
for balance. And then he just got the ball off him because the other guy kicked the ball at his foot. It wasn't a great save if it gets kicked at the keeper. He's just at the right place at the right time. That's sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
A bit of luck in there, but obviously it's got more to do with Felix.
That was too much. Why? You've gone past him once. Why are you trying to go past him again? Just shoot. Just take the shot, man. Just take the shot. What are you doing?
It's
moments like that against Villa as well. Just trying to go run through players rather than just pass and move. It's just little things like that. Listen, he's technically very, very gifted. He's a very cute footballer, and I use that word cute because he's not really.
He is, yeah.
But anything else, like he gets pushed off the ball really easy.
That's where the cuteness comes in.
That's the cuteness.
Yeah, that's the cuteness.
That's why I'm using cute to describe it.
Yeah, he's got to like tiptoe around, but he's just getting pushed all over. And he's not realizing that obviously he doesn't have that strength and the time to do what he wants to do. You just need to this is why some players just can't hack it in the Premier League, because you've said it many, many times. You just do not have the space and time to do little turns like that. Yeah. You know, that's why a Neymar, for example, would have never survived in this league, because he would have just been chopped down. He would have been injured, and that would have been the end.
That's it. He would have been.
You know what I mean? He thinks he's got it bad in Liga, but you come to the Premier League, it's a whole different animal. So, yeah, I think with Felix, the stat that Chelsea have gone through 3 managers. That's actually more than Felix has goals, which it's, you know what I mean?
Well, also there was a stat today saying, what do you call it? N'Golo Kante this season has played 4 games under 3 different managers.
That was going to be my next point, but I was going to wait a little bit longer just to get your happiness coming back in, and then.
No, my happiness is fine, to be fair. I'm not like before. Like I'm not like just noise and disappointment, because change is coming. The only thing now is anxious in terms of who's it going to be. I know there's a lot of talk about the ex-Bayern manager Nagelsmann, but the thing that worries me is names like Pochettino being thrown about. The Zebi from, is it this Zebi?
He's already. I think Chelsea have already.
Himself out.
Chelsea have already said that, because they respect Brighton, they're not going to go in for a second boss.
The second one.
So it's
the thing is as well, he's done well for Brighton, but at the end of the day, you still you can't be Chelsea. Like, you cannot be the Chelsea manager. Do you know what I mean?
The only player that De Zerbi has in a Brighton team that could potentially, sort of be a little bit too big would be a McAllister. Because obviously, he's won the World Cup, but even that guy, he's humble as hell. Like, he jumps on the pitch, he does exactly what he needs to do. And De Zerbi, by the way, he started off a bit rocky, but he has turned that Brighton team into a machine. They just they won tonight as well.
The expectations not there, but the expectations at Chelsea is going to be completely different than it will be at Brighton, like we've chatted many times.
Of course.
That's also much higher. The players get held accountable, or the manager gets held accountable. When you spend 70 million on a player and you're like, right, who is he? He's not performing. Like, let's use Mudryk, for example. Okay, we had that cameo, but now he's not performing to the heights that we thought.
Not even close.
He kind of touched that on that level where he went past Milner and everyone's like, wow, this kid's going to be good. Okay, he's still a kid, he's still young, but everybody's going to judge him on his price tag. Some are going to say that's not his fault, he didn't set the price, but majority, media, us as fans, we're always going to be like, 100 million for what?
Yeah.
Whereas Enzo, you look at Enzo and you're like, 100 million, still really expensive, but yeah, he's doing well.
I can see where someone like that would be going.
He's going to go, but the thing with Enzo, he's just a young player. But that's why they've cost so much, all these players. It's just because they're young. But you know what? We need, I think, a new manager needs to come in very quickly, because the Real Madrid game is around the corner, and we really need to try and do something. But I can't see where the goals are going to come from, honestly, because the players are not going forward.
It all depends, Rick, on obviously who comes in and how quickly they can manage. Because look, the thing is, it's not rocket science. You know what I mean? You see the teams that Chelsea have put out in recent matches, and they've played well. So it's not rocket science to see that, okay, that's working. But putting a Loftus-Cheek in a right wing-back position, that is not working. That is something that, again, any experienced manager will come in and be like, all right, no, you're either going to go in midfield or you're going to be on the bench, Loftus-Cheek, because that spot is clearly reserved for a Reece James. I don't even know why we're debating this.
His name is first on the team sheet, honestly. For me, Reece James and Ben Chilwell are first and second on the team sheet. When whoever's writing the team sheet, you put Reece James, Ben Chilwell in before you write anybody else.
You build around them. Even
then you fill the rest of the gaps.
Even the keeper doesn't deserve the sort of a guaranteed start in comparison to these guys. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this Potter was getting paid over 20 million a year or 50 million a year, whatever he was getting paid, and that's a decision that's a decision that we can look from the outside and be like, why?
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, give me not even a quarter of that, and we can, again, do you know what I mean? You can just move certain players around, but obviously the problem is that striking position. That's your main thing that you've got. Yeah, if you get a good striker,
not the answer, is he? Aubameyang was never the answer.
He never was. No, he never was. As soon as you get that striker,
we'll see what happens next year.
As soon as you get that striker, by the way, it's going to be. Chelsea could be a scary team, obviously, depending on how everyone else gels together. But
I think it's just the gelling together is not too bad. I think it's just that striker, like you say. We get in, even if we continue with this formation, we're getting people to put balls in the box. Just no one's in the box to attack. Let's say if Lukaku comes back, but he actually wants to play because he's not falling out with Thomas Tuchel or whoever else at the club, because it's it's effectively a brand new club with the same name.
Yeah.
Think about it, like new owners, everything is new now. When Lukaku, like that meme that I sent you, when N'Golo Kante comes back from training, he's like, what the hell are there all these people?
Who are all these people? He's just chilling at home. He's seeing all these kids running around. What's going on? It's like kindergarten out here.
When we need that big striker, we need that play so that we can either go down the middle or we can go around the back and cross it in. I think Havertz will start to flourish if he doesn't have to be the main guy. I think Felix, if he stays, I know he's on a loan, but you know what? I would make it permanent. I've seen moments from him, but again, although I'm not happy with him, I would rather have him than lose him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if he can start building that's it. Yeah, if he can start building relationships with and chemistry with players like Mudryk, players like Enzo, players like Havertz, Mason Mount, if he stays, these are all young players. Okay, this season, next season, but then you'd like to think following seasons, they should be very, very good.
Yeah,
but. Again, big striker, ifs and buts is all of it. And Lukaku, we've talked about him before. His first touch is awful. So we'll see what happens.
That's it. I mean, well, look, you don't even need him for a touch. Just put the ball in his head, and then that's pretty much what he needs to do. But yeah, something has to be done. Obviously, again, as a neutral, if you will, something has to be done about that attacking position, because that's, again, watching that Liverpool match today, second half was end to end. but there was no one finishing anything. And I don't even know what Klopp was doing with. Obviously, I know you don't care that much, but I don't know what Klopp was doing with that whole formation. By the way, with the lineup, even not formation, the lineup.
I think he was thinking for Saturday more than anything.
I understand, but this is still he underestimated Chelsea. I mean, yeah, obviously he didn't win, but he underestimated Chelsea because you still gave him a fight. There was how many yellow cards? There's 5 yellow cards.
I don't want to talk about that, but it should have been more yellow cards. Fabinho should have had a yellow card a lot sooner on. Kanata should have got a yellow card when Havertz took it. And then what was it? Gomez got the yellow card rather than the defender. The referee just I thought the referee was poor. He let a few things go, which you're like, yeah, all right. But then there were certain things you're like, come on, ref, don't take the piss. Now, it's clearly the players, both sides, by the way, not just for Chelsea, even for Liverpool, there should have been some fouls there, to the lads. But you know what? We all want to see that going in. But then there was inconsistency as the game went on. So that's what I didn't like about him.
It was. I mean, throughout the whole game, it was even the match itself was just very, very scrappy in certain parts. Like you said, especially that second half, that really bothered me. But the first half, I genuinely thought that that Chelsea were going to. Well,
it needed a goal. The whole game needed a goal for it to be a decent game.
You had 2 goals, but they were both obviously one offside, one handball, which fairly given by the way.
The offside one, I can't understand. I didn't see the lines. Have you got a picture of the line to actually show me? Because it looked like Kanata's toe or Matip's toe was on the line. However, when they showed the red line for the knee, it looked like the knee was on the line as well. Yeah, the blue line was behind the toe, like mid-foot rather than at the front of the toe.
From the angle that they showed was that who was it? Matip, wasn't it?
I think it was Matip and Enzo. Yeah.
Yeah. So Matip's foot was on the ground, but I think it was Enzo who was sort of hovering. But again, I didn't see the lines.
They put the lines. When I saw the lines, maybe again speculations. I'm not being salty at this, but it just looked like they didn't leave it there for long enough to actually see where they drew the lines. Because it looked the blue line, which was for the defender, and the red for the offside, looked like it had gone over his foot rather than at the toe, which is the furthest point from him in that situation. Yeah, it's not midfoot because the game is becoming inches now. If you've not cut your toenails, you're probably offside. So do you know what I mean?
You need them shorter boots, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, everybody's trying to fit into a size 7.
I think. Look,
that's for me. It looked like as if I was like, hold on a minute, that is that really offside? But yeah, must have been. You know what? It is what it is. But the handball was a handball.
Handball was handball. Yeah, even Havertz came out in the post match interview. He even said that with the technology nowadays, he said it was handball. Forget
he hit his hand. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't because he tried to keep his hand close to him, but his you can't do that. You can't have it was his elbow that caught him, and his elbow was away from his body.
Yeah,
you can't score with your hand.
Or whatever. But look, that was 26th minute. James scores offside, unfortunately, and I thought as soon as he scored, by the way, before the offside, I genuinely thought this is going to be it for Liverpool now. There's going to be
so did I. Coming up. Really, so did I.
Because I'm looking at this sort of match report. Obviously, I know what I saw, but looking at this match report, I mean, there was literally the one instance to talk about, which was Reece James's offside goal on the 26th minute. And then second half starts, it's just yellow cards, subs, and obviously the Havertz disallowed goal. That's all it was.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything crazy to talk about.
You watched the game though as well, wasn't it? Like Kovacic going 1-on-1 with the keeper.
Yeah.
And you think,
there's so many skied shots. It was unbelievable. Again,
insane. I couldn't believe
these players when they were training under Potter, were they sort of taught to run away from goal or something, or lean back when they're shooting? What's going on? Yeah, be scared. I don't know what was going on.
Big Al intimidating the players, man. I'm telling you, Big Alisson at the back is just intimidating all these Chelsea players because Kova should have hit the target. Like the shots that we've had, we should have hit the target. You can't have a 2-point-something goal expected and only have a one less shot than Liverpool on target. If you look at those, Chelsea have had, I think, 3, Liverpool had 4.
2.2 XG for Chelsea and 0.3 for Liverpool, by the way.
0.3 something for Liverpool. Yeah. And this is the thing. When it came to the chances, we had the better chances. We just could not put them away. And I think the commentator touched on it as well. If they play like this against Arsenal and they give Arsenal the chances that they gave Chelsea, they'll be 3-4 down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid, obviously...
It is at Anfield, but you just, Nunez will probably score against you guys.
You know he will. He's going to get a hat-trick just because I talk shit about him
just
all the time.
Just
But I think, with Chelsea, they definitely had the better chances, like no doubt about it. But in terms of the game itself, it was pretty even in the second half, especially.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't
Midfield
much.
Battles,
There wasn't much between the two. But again, midfield battles. But that's what Liverpool have been struggling with. Midfield has been a massive, massive weak point for them.
They were very quiet, weren't they?
And City obviously exploited that on the weekend. They exploited that, and that's what it was. There was no battle there. It was. Liverpool started off a little bit brightly, about 15 minutes, and then City just went, oh, okay, so you've got no midfield. I'm going to push everyone in there. And that's what they did. And they just gave no room to breathe. And I feel like if Chelsea had a better coach who can understand the game a little bit better, probably they could have done the same thing, because especially against this Liverpool iteration, you know what I mean? The lineup was just
we should have really gone for it. We should have really gone for it. That back four was needed to be tested a lot more than it did. What's his name? What's his name? The Greek guy who plays for Liverpool, left back.
Oh yeah, Tsimikas.
Tsimikas, that's it. Yeah, Tsimikas, Gomez. We saw what Gomez had to offer against Brighton, and then got dropped because Welbeck tore him a new one. So it just became a problem for Chelsea. It was just like we needed to try more. But for us, it looked like as if we were really scared to go forward, really scared to commit. There were times when Cucurella would have the ball in midfield, and you're like, right, pass it forward now. Give it to a Chilwell. Give it to a Mudryk later on. Give it to somebody. But then he'd come back and give it to Koulibaly, and you're like, I think even the fans sometimes were getting up and going like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like raising their hands, be like, why have you not tempted to go forward? Because as football fans, that's what we want to see. We want to see our players trying to score, especially for Chelsea, who are struggling to score this year. Just at least put the ball forward. Let's try.
Be positive about the way you move with the ball.
Yeah, it was just difficult.
Cucurella, that's what he does. Though. That's what Cucurella does. He passes the ball back. That's all I've ever seen him do. And
he played all right. Like he did all right for himself. Did you watch the full match? For me, I thought he did very well. Like it wasn't excellent. He wasn't like in the 9 rating, but definitely 6.5, 7 out of 10. Today he won the ball a couple of times early on. Anticipated it, got in front of the attacker, but. It's just like you say, like that going forward, it's not him. He'll anticipate and give it back to your guy.
That's it. He gets a little bit too scared when he's trying to move forward. He'd rather pass the responsibility on, which again, that's what it seems like. I'm not saying that's what he actually does.
And then Havertz had the chance where the ball got crossed in by Chilwell. Yeah. Havertz hit it against the keeper. There was the other one where he tried to get it. He took too long to take the shot and he kicked it at him. Because that goal, a handball, he should have scored. That goal should never have gone in as a ricochet. He should have been able to bury that away.
He should have controlled that a lot better, to be honest. Yeah, that was
better. And he should have just chipped him, hit it, do something, go around him. I know Alisson's excellent on one-on-ones, but Havertz, come on, mate. One-on-one against him, you should be putting them away. Yeah. If there's ever one-on-one attacker versus keeper, you always fancy the attacker to score rather than the keeper to save.
That's it. I mean, that ricochet, obviously, it put him off in a way, which was the main thing. But again,
should have scored it before the ricochet, though, right?
What's that down to? What is that down to? What would you say?
That'll be him. Lack of form. That'll be lack of confidence. They'll be thinking too much. Probably pressure. Because think about it, 40,000 fans, Chelsea 11th in the league, the media in the UK now this is not Chelsea. Manager's just been sacked. Under the old regime, these players would not have hacked it. Players would have got sold. The manager would have got sacked a lot sooner. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of sort of variables and a lot of things that kind of can put a lot of pressure on these guys. But, you'd like to think professional footballers, you're going to hear shit all the time. Your job is just to focus on the pitch. It's hard, but this is outside looking in. Somebody who sleeps well at night, nobody's chatting BS to him.
Well, colleagues, maybe they're doing that behind your back.
Well, but not on my Twitter or not on my Instagram or something that I get to read about it.
No, definitely
but
not.
Yeah, that's what I put it down to. I think it's that. But again, how are you going to get him? How's form going to come back? Because they say class is permanent, form is temporary, but at the minute for Chelsea seems to be 7 months of form that's been bad form, and the league table doesn't lie. That tells you where we are.
It was a team that's been led astray, really. I mean, with Potter being at the helm, it's a team that's been led astray from their actual trajectory. I think think of this as a alternative timeline, an alternative timeline just sort of opened itself up, and then that's where Potter was, because that's not where Chelsea realistically, again. Don't want to keep bringing this up, but under TT, if he stayed, we would not be there.
We'd be fighting
there's
top
no
4.
way you would have been on the
we
level.
We might not be top of the league because obviously we're not as good as the top 2, but we would have been close enough to Tottenham, Man United, maybe 4th, 5th, because even Newcastle have been fantastic. But yeah, if Thomas Tuchel was there, you never know, because he would have got more out of the players, but apparently, according to all the rumours, like I touched on the previous episode as well, he just wasn't very keen on the new ownership model and the way they wanted to do things. So I don't think he stayed around. And we touched on this. Is this the American? Here's the players. Coach them.
That's it. No, that's absolutely right. I think again, let's not get into that. If people want to listen to that, then go find the previous episodes, especially after Potter was hired, because we talk a lot of shit about him.
That was hilarious. We did with DEFCON 3 episodes. So if you want to listen to it, when Thomas Tuchel got sacked 4 games in early September.
That's the name of the episode. Go find DEFCON, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's I mean, okay. So going forward, then with Chelsea, new manager, who would you prefer to bring in, and how are they moving forward?
It's tricky. It's tricky because I like the boy, obviously, who just got sacked by Bayern because he plays attacking football. Like this these German managers who just want to overload the attack. The Jurgen Klopps, the Thomas Tuchels, this new guy, Nagelsmann. What's his name? Nagelsmann.
Julian Nagelsmann.
Yeah. And, I like these kind of football. And I think Chelsea need a manager who just wants to play attacking football. Because they've got, look at the amount of wingers we've got, look at the amount of attacking players, never mind wingers, just attacking players itself.
You need someone with an attacking mind, like you said, who can actually guide these players. This is where you need to be. These are your wings.
Help them understand a different position rather than I'm a left winger, that's all I do. Okay, but I need you to play a 10, I need you to play a false 9, I need you to interlink between each other and change positions.
You need to be dynamic.
That's the word, be dynamic at the top. And I think that's what we need. I'd love to have a Zidane or a Luis Enrique as well, but for me, I know I'm not just going with what the media's saying, but out of the players, names that have been mentioned, Julian Nagelsmann would be the guy for me to have. But again, I don't think he'll come because it's going to cost money, because he's still under contract for Bayern. They're still paying his salary, although Tuchel's there.
That's incredible, honestly. These managers have got
some sort of compensation. Exactly.
They've got it.
There needs to be some compensation there.
No, definitely there will be. I think probably you'll probably stick with this guy, the coach, till the end of the season.
We can't. It's still the same. It's still the same coaching staff. The guy with the long hair today that was there, I forgot his name. I know he was in Potter's number 2, but he's still part of Potter's coaching staff. It's still the same coaching. It's still the same sessions. It's still the same tactics. It's still the same thinking. At the end of the day,
of course
the thinking that you have is going to be the person who you followed before. Look at Arteta. He followed Guardiola. Look at what he's done there now. Look at what's his name, Vincent Company.
Yeah,
he folled Guardiola.
Same
Look
thing.
at what he's doing now. Similar, just to loads of attacking football. So I think we need somebody brand new to come in. What I'd really like, obviously it's impossible because Thomas Tuchel is the person I'd like to have back. To be actually, what can you do, Thomas? Do you know what I mean? But that's irrelevant. This talk to moot point.
It is.
But see what this kid can do. Luis Enrique is another one that I'd probably like to see, but I know he didn't do much with Spain.
Yeah, I don't think Luis Enrique is your answer. I'll be honest with you. I
like the idea of just people who can play not just possession football, but get players forward. And I saw that with Spain. He was encouraging players to get forward. Pochettino is a big no-no for me. Pochettino was he did nothing.
It's just one step above Graham Potter, really, in that sense.
That's it. Yeah, he's that 6th, 7th manager rather than 8th, 9th.
Yeah, what's he done? That's the main question that you got to ask. What's he done?
What has he done? What's he achieved? Yeah, because he's going to start managing players who are world champions, who are World Cup winners, who are Champions League winners, who who are very important in their own country.
He's not proven regarded highly. Poch is not proven enough.
Not enough
to again to sort of counteract what Potter was doing with these players, because it's going to be exactly the same thing. But I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Someone like a Nagelsmann could be good, because I still don't understand why Bayern got rid of him, to be honest. But maybe because Thomas Tuchel just was available and they thought they'd move quickly or whatever it was. So which is quite good for Chelsea. Because look, the thing is with Bayern,
but Spurs want to get him as well, don't they? Spurs are managerless; they're going to try and get him. But if he's going to pick between the two,
if he's going to end his career early, then do a Spurs thing. If he wants to be affected by the Spursian syndrome, then by all means, please, as an Arsenal fan, I beg Nagelsmann to do it, because your soul will get sucked out of you. Do you know what I mean? It's just
community service.
That's exactly it. I think every manager has to go through it now and again. That's a stepping stone or something like that.
Some charity work. Go to Spurs, see if you can do anything. The thing is with Spurs are very quickly on the sidetrack. I blame the hierarchy. You got to blame. We blamed it before. Daniel Levy is a problem, and I was listening to a lot of TalkSport as well, and there's just a lot of a lot of fans coming on, and they're just all saying the same thing. How are these world class managers coming to our club and not winning anything? And they're all all in agreement with Conte. Conte said everything that Conte said was honesty, but nobody just wanted to hear it because we just dropped 2 points away to Southampton. But the players, the hierarchy is just pointless.
Reality for the fans, not just Tottenham fans, but even, you know, ourselves, for our respective teams. Reality sometimes can be difficult to understand because you kind of have to make that hard decision. Reality involves hard decisions, and I think obviously for Chelsea, especially, Bowley made that hard decision. Now it's like, all right, you know what, I was wrong. I've made that decision. I've lost some money on this. Whatever. It's not even about the
whatever money. It is.
Same with Tottenham as well, with their fans that just cannot accept that they do not have a great team. They just don't have a great team. Like, they look from top to bottom, they've still got Lloris in goal. It's like, yo, that guy's been with you for 11 years, and you're not even close to a replacement for him, by the way. Not even close.
Fraser Foster
is not a replacement for him. Fraser Foster's not even, like, shouldn't even be on your bench, because on your bench should be the next starting goalkeeper. You're
ready to take his place, yeah.
That's it. And so it's completely ridiculous. I mean, maybe that's where the hierarchy gets a bit too involved with Tottenham. It's like, oh, well, no, we need to keep this player because he's actually doing this and this for us. Okay, I get
he's
that.
Cheap. That's probably another reason they keep him. He's only cost us $5,000 a week.
That's fine. If he's cheap, then they're going to be a cheap club that's not going to achieve anything.
Which they are.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. It's just a knockoff from the other London teams, to be honest with you. But even though they've got like a longer history than Chelsea and Arsenal, how crazy is that? Yeah, there you go.
I know.
So, but it's even crazier when you put it that way.
Longer history, but who's got the most trophies?
Exactly. Let's just not even.
That's where we at.
That's not even up for debate.
Because Wrexham have got the bigger history as well, but where are they compared to?
Exactly. Not Forest. They've got a great history.
No, Forest. There's another one, and they've still got probably more trophies than Spurs.
They actually do, and they've got 2 European trophies. So that's automatically leaps and bounds.
Pedigree.
Bro, there's pedigree to this game, innit? But yeah. So with Chelsea. Do you have anything else you want to add, by the way, from what you've seen? Look,
one thing I do want to finish off with, though, like, it is to say that N'Golo Kante is back, and I'm happy. Like I put on the chat as well, he had a very good 70 minutes.
He had a great game, very lively.
If more players were forward, we could have done something else, because this was the same NG that left. He was intercepting the ball really well, reading the game well, and attacking. And the year that we won the Champions League, he was attacking at teams with the ball, and either was on the right, he was in the middle, he was on the left. But the only thing that Champions League team had a Giroud, had a Werner, players who understood to stay at the top, who understood being. But anyway, hopefully it'll come. I don't know. Like I said to you, this season for me is kind of, there's hope because you want to watch your team win all the time. Yeah. But, I'm not expecting Champions League football. I'm hoping if we don't get Champions League, then we don't get any of the European team, any of the Europe ones. We just play for the Premier League next year, FA Cup, and so on and so forth. Unless we win the Champions League. If we win the Champions League, then yeah, but I can't see us making top 4. We're 11 points behind.
That's still going to cause problems, because then you're fighting for 4 competitions next season with potentially a brand new manager who probably hasn't even had the time to actually, sort of cement himself into that team,
That's what I hope for. He comes in and gets in now. Because, like, if we wrote the season off, he has time this season to kind of see, okay, what's going on, what's wrong? Okay, these guys need to go on loan. So, for example, if Mudryk is not ready yet, send him to Everton or something. Send him Mudryk. You know what? I can work with Mudryk. The only thing he needs to do is that first touch, decision-making. Let's work with him. Bring a striker in. I know we've got a striker coming. What's his name? Unguku, I think, from RB. Unguku, that's it. Yeah, he's coming in the summer. Lukaku's coming back from his loan spell. Whoever comes in, there's superstars there to manage. There's egos, there's characters. And we just need leaders in that dressing room. They're lacking leaders, man. I think there's too many foreigners in the pitch.
Maybe Zidane is the best option, by the way, just when you put it like that. Maybe Zidane is the best option because he will demand respect from the players, and the players will respect.
Nobody higher than him, right?
Exactly.
In terms of that, like, all these guys playing now would have looked at Zidane, because most of the players who are playing for Chelsea are like, what, our age and younger?
Yeah, well, mostly younger, isn't it? So yeah,
mostly younger, but I mean the older generation. Like, let's say they're the ones who got Potter sacked. Zidane walks in, they're going to be like,
can't be doing it. Yeah, can't be doing it. That's my hero right there. I can't talk shit about him. And plus, he's a proven winner. Like, Champions Leagues. Did he win the league with Real?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think once or twice he won the league.
Who did he win the? He didn't win the Champions League. I don't think. Did he win it with Juve? Because he never won it with Real Madrid. Oh no, he did the volley goal. Yeah, the volley goal in the final. He did win the Champions League. I'm thinking of Ronaldo R9. He never won the Champions League with Real.
I'm saying as a coach, though. I'm saying as a coach.
Oh, as a coach. Oh,
that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Four of them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Because as a player,
proven winner.
Yeah, as a player, there's no way you can doubt how great Zidane was. But even as a coach, he has clearly proven himself at the highest level. And I think someone like him would probably be the best. However, he will come at a very, very expensive price. Like, very expensive price.
I know. And especially knowing the budget that Chelsea have been operating with, anybody who comes, and rightly so as well, by the way. I know it's my club, but rightly so. You want to try and make the most money you can. Like we talked about Ivan Toney. If you know Chelsea coming for him, come on, mate. You just spent 100 million on these two players, or each. My guy's worth 60. My guy's worth 70. You know what I mean?
Easily.
When you compare it in terms of that. So we'll see. Because Ivan Toney's young as well. 25, isn't he?
Yeah,
25, 26.
Tony's got at least another 5-6 years in him at the very least. At the top. At the top flight.
So yeah, but no, nothing to add, my mate. Moving on to the other side of London.
I look with the other side of London. I'll be honest with you.
Short and brief.
There's a couple of things that I really enjoyed. For me, Jesus starting and obviously scoring 2 goals. That was probably one of the best things as an Arsenal fan that we've been waiting for a long time. Since 6th of November. That was the last time that he scored in the league for us. Obviously went to the World Cup, obviously got injured, which is fair enough. But even before that, he wasn't really, he went like 7 games or 6 games without a goal, before the injury. So we didn't have a doubt that he's going to be good, but it's still just a little bit like, oh, well, he still didn't score. So yeah, what's he going to do now? But look, he came back. The penalty, did you watch this, by the way, match of the day?
So I think there was a slight contact or something, and then he just... Look, I didn't watch the highlights. I didn't watch anything. I just saw the penalty because Leeds fans were saying he went down too easy. Should never have been a penalty.
There was an instance just before that where he was on the other side, on the right-hand side, and he was taken down by Ayling, and that should have been a penalty. Like that was a stronger shout for a penalty than this one.
Okay.
But the problem that Ayling had here was that he slid, never touched him when he slid, but just before he sort of like tried to move past, Jesus tried to move past Ayling, that's when Ayling sort of stretches studs out and hit him on the knee. Look, you know yourself, and I know myself, right? Once you get hit on the knee, even if it's the smallest of contacts, that's still a big contact because these players are at speed. These are strong players.
Yeah.
So once them studs hit the knee, that hurts. Do you know what I mean? That
it's off balance, yeah.
And if he had his leg planted, it could have gone a different way. A knee could have been broken. I'm not saying it was that bad, by the way.
I was going to say, yeah, because you had little contact and then strong and knee broke.
No, I'm just saying, like, the way that Ayling went in with the studs, you don't go in with
showing,
these,
okay, yeah.
You can't go in with these studs like that. Yes, all right, Jesus went down a little bit easy. Fair enough. But look, at the end of the day, we're trying to win a match here. We're trying to get a goal. We're trying, you know what I mean? We're trying to get a penalty at the end of it, and that's what happened. And Ayling was at fault. Like you can't be. The Leeds fans obviously won't accept that, but Ayling was definitely at fault because you saw what happened. He saw what happened to himself a couple of weeks ago. When he nearly got his leg broken because someone went in studs, and now he's doing the same thing. Light touch, fair enough, but. Yeah, it was definitely a penalty. Soft, but it was definitely a penalty.
But if he didn't go down, he would never have got the penalty. If he stayed on his feet, I don't think he'll ever get it. And that's the problem that we have now. In order to finish the debate of like, oh, he went down too lightly, then give a penalty if it's a penalty when the player is honest and stays on their feet.
Yeah, that's it. But obviously that's never going to happen. That
will never happen. That will never happen.
The ref he'll need to see the evidence of someone falling. But
there'll be 20 minutes at a time because there'll be a constant VAR check
every time. I mean, with this one, it was very brief as a VAR check. Jesus steps up. Actually, it was Odegaard who stepped up to the plate, but he sort of turned around, handed the ball to Jesus, which I thought was a great touch from Odegaard as the club captain, knowing full well that one of our star strikers needs a goal to break his duck from obviously, since the 6th of November. So I'm glad that Odegaard did that. However,
he got 2 though, Jesus, didn't he? Did he get 2?
He did. He got the third goal later on. But the thing I wanted to mention was that I didn't know this, that Jesus doesn't have a very good penalty record.
Really?
He's taken 13 penalties and he's missed 7.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean? So now this is the problem that I don't think most Arsenal fans that are not obviously analysts or whatever, they wouldn't have realised how bad his penalty record is. So if we knew, I don't think anyone would have been happy. But I was like, I'm not sure about Jesus stepping up to this, because maybe confidence, maybe a bit of pressure because he feels like he needs to score and bring the team back up or needs to be involved in the team. But stepped it up, did a little stutter run up and straight down the middle. Which if it went any other way, then like if Meslier stood still, he would have easily just tapped that out. Absolutely no problem. But there you go. It was 1-0, so brilliant to see. Ben White gets a second goal. Martinelli crosses in. Ben White's at the back post. No one marking him. Absolutely no one marking him. And he just stepped it up. Boom. Off the crossbar. Went in. Brilliant. Brilliant goal. And I'm glad because he scored a couple now. And he's proven to be one of the best £50 million signings that exist in the Premier League.
Did you get him this summer or last summer? I can't remember when you bought him. It was last summer, wasn't it?
This summer.
Was it?
No, sorry. It was last summer. It was last summer because he played centre back last.
I was going to say and then obviously everybody was shitting on him, being like, when you move. This is the thing, isn't it? Like how what a difference you have from last year to this year. Because last year everybody was calling for his head. This is Arteta, want him out. We missed on Champions League. This is a joke. We're same old Arsenal, etc., etc. And now you're like, Arteta can't seem to do anything wrong. Everything he touches seems to turn into gold. You had Jesus injured. Everybody thought, Arsenal are ruined. Who's going to step in?
And Nketiah stepped in. And Nketiah stepped up. Trossard stepped up, obviously.
But it's the way he put Nketiah in as well and like worked to Nketiah's strength rather than expecting him to do what Jesus did. And that's maneuvered his tactics around so that the whole team is firing on all cylinders. And you know what? Credit to him, man. Honestly, I think he's been fantastic for years.
Martinelli, really good. Martinelli sort of did that Jesus role, and so did obviously Trossard when he came in, as well as Saka. They did that interchanging. So look, in terms of the front three or the front four, however you want to call it, it's very dynamic. They swap with each other in terms of where they are. Like Trossard, for example, he started on the right hand side because Saka was on the bench. He was rested, he was ill or something or whatever it was. So Trossard started again. It was a thing where you look at the lineup and you think, well, Trossard on that side, I've never seen him play on that side before, so I don't know how that's going to be. Started off a bit rocky. It probably just getting used to that Ben White partnership because Ben White and Saka have got like a great partnership going on. That partnership didn't seem to be working at the beginning, but then Trossard just stepped it up, gave an assist for Jesus for the third goal. Doesn't matter where this guy is. Doesn't matter where this guy is. He's assisted from like left, center, and right hand side now. So the only thing that he's missing is just a nice ping ball from defense to Jesus or Martinelli. But yeah, so that was 3-0, and then some lazy defending. Xhaka was. I don't want to say Xhaka was to blame, but it was just a bit like turning his back on his defender. It's like, come on, man. That maybe a bit of complacency stepped Xhaka's mind. So that was 3-1. That what's his name? Crescencio Somerville. Yeah, Somerville. He was very lively at the beginning of that match. He had a couple of chances, tested Ramsdale. And I think he's a very, very good player, genuinely. And I think Leeds really missed Nonto this game.
Yeah,
because I think Nonto would have caused some problems. Lad. Yeah, he would have caused some problems to Ben White this game, no doubt in my mind. But luckily, 3-1, and then we got Odegaard, just nice ball straight to Xhaka. Xhaka steps up with his head, bang. 4-1.
I'm glad Xhaka scored, to be fair. I like the fact that he scored because he's been through a lot, and obviously with his Albanian roots and Kosovan roots, whichever way, Albanian roots, let's say, is obviously I like him and I'm a fan of his because he's been through a lot at Arsenal, especially last year and the year before, and the threats that he was getting. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see Xhaka doing well. It annoys me that Arsenal are doing so well, but you know what? I'm not going to be a hypocrite because my team were there before, and I know the feeling of when you're winning games.
It's a cycle, isn't it?
You feel untouchable. It is, but like I just hope mine is not as long as yours.
Yeah, well, that was
our cycle is not going to be 15 years or so.
That washing machine really got broken somewhere. Yes. You know what I mean? It's down in the 2006.
A quick fast spin, and then we come out quickly because listen, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to stay here like I do. I am really angry and jealous that your team is winning every time, and the fact that they seem to go into every game knowing that they can't lose. Because when you have that mentality, you start playing with this freedom and be like, no, it's fine. We're still going to score. There's a minute left. It's fine. We'll score. Reece Nelson steps up.
Against Bournemouth,
you know what I mean?
That was just absolute beauty.
But this is what I mean. It's just games like that where you just think to yourself, okay, you're going to have hiccups like you did against Everton, against Brentford, where you drew points, and then City is City, obviously. So every team has hiccups against City.
Of course they do,
You know what I mean? Like, you guys are doing all right, you're doing well. I hope in my team, just like you mentioned, those interchanges with your front three, I need a manager in who can do that to my guys at the top. Because they're more than capable of doing it. They just need somebody to kind of coach it into them. And they went from a very elite manager to another good manager, but not at the level that Thomas Tuchel was, and that's the problem I think that we've had. We had Thomas Tuchel, then we dropped down.
You dropped your standards. You dropped your standards. As far as I'm concerned, that's what you did.
And
it's something
difficult to see a progress.
No, it was, especially for Chelsea. Like, even for me, just watching from the outside, I just didn't know where that was going at all, and it proved in the end. We proved.
I've had a lot of listeners and a lot of friends say to me who listen to the podcast as well and say to me, like, oh yeah, but give him time, look at Arteta. Yes, and I go back to the stuff that I've said on previous episodes. Arteta won FA Cups. Arteta was finishing 5th, 6th. Arteta was still performing. Arsenal was still performing week in, week out.
A few teething problems obviously at the beginning. Score. Yeah.
Well, it's natural at the beginning, and we had teething problems at the beginning. Then we had the World Cup, and you think to yourself, right, work with the team, think of what's going on, go back, analyse videos, and I'm sure he did. But his attitude as well, the way he came out being so calm, I think it rubbed the fans the wrong way, especially when you get beat by Everton, Bournemouth, lose here, lose there, and you're like, we got beat by the better team. And you're like, no, bro, that's it. Like,
Southampton, wasn't it? It was Southampton.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
No, the thing is, when you look at your past managers, your Jose Mourinho's, your Antonio Conte's, even to a point, Maurizio Sarri, they had an edge to them. When something didn't go right, they were straight on their feet. You remember the pictures of Conte, with his jacket sort of all over the place because he's swinging his arms.
Trying to talk tactics and change plays. That's what you need.
That's sometimes. Passion. That's passion for the game. And I don't know what Potter was doing. He thinks he's doing like some private schoolboy, managing. Yeah. Oh, well done, lads. Yeah, nice one. Yeah. Oh, 3 goals against. Oh, don't worry, lads. It's all right. That's all right. Can't be doing that. I
watched the Villa game with a friend of mine, and I said to him, every time I see Potter, the camera moves to him. Every time he was just like, as if he's clapping and just saying to the lads, come on, keep going. Yeah, keep going.
That was good.
Never anything to like, when you see managers get their fingers out and say like, right, there's 3, I want you in the middle. Like Mourinho used to do it.
Arteta does that now.
Every manager does it. Arteta does it. Everybody does it. Whereas my guy was just there like, come on. And like, the poor guy's probably there thinking like, come on to what? Like, what do you want me to do apart from like run up and down? What else do you want me to do?
No, it was funny. It was definitely funny to watch on the touchline.
Can I just say it is sad that he's lost his job, because you never want to be happy someone's lost their job.
That's not what we're celebrating.
I think for his mental health and for the fans' mental health, it was a nice decision to part ways, and he'll get a nice paycheck. He'll go on holiday with his family, and I'm sure he'll come back and be somewhere else, probably at Leicester somewhere.
No, he's already rejected them. He's already rejected Leicester.
Leicester.
He came out and
said, thinks he's too big.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point. By the way, now he thinks he's at the next level where it's how are you not accepting?
He needs to prove himself at the next level.
Leicester you should be lucky that Leicester are coming to you. Do you know what I mean? Because again, they've actually achieved something in the last 10 years as a club.
Won the FA Cup, won the league.
You, as a manager, have not achieved any of that. So you should be lucky that Leicester going, do you know what? All right, we saw you at Chelsea. We saw how bad you were at Chelsea, but we still want you. And my guy's like, no. Look, I don't think it's going to be, I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to be end of career for Potter. That far from it. But I don't think he's going to
come back. He'll bounce
I don't
back,
think he's not
going to get the top jobs.
No, I don't think, that's my point. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get them top jobs at all. And rightly so. Why would he get a top job?
I don't know what made him getting him the first job in the first place, but I suppose we talked about it, didn't we? Puppet.
No, it is what it is. In terms, like I said, I wanted to keep my Arsenal talk very short because we went out there, we did the business, we went back up 8 points.
You don't want to rub it in.
No, it's not about rubbing it now.
We've got a big game of the weekend though. Yeah. So what do you think? Liverpool away? I think it's Liverpool away, then Chelsea away, right?
Yeah. I think.
I know Chelsea at home.
Is Chelsea at home?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Did we beat you at the Bridge?
He beat us at the Bridge, yeah. It was under Thomas Tuchel. I think he beat us 1-0 because a lot of Arsenal fan TV came out and they were saying No, actually, no, you don't have Chelsea at home. You've got Chelsea at home after City away, then Chelsea at home later on in the year.
Yeah, I think Chelsea's like second or third last game or something like that. From the last game, something along those lines.
No, a little bit further. I think you've got City on the. No, I think you've got City on the 26th. Wednesday night kickoff at City, and then at home to Chelsea on Saturday at 5:30.
On Saturday, right? That's it. Okay, yeah.
That's quite bad. That's tough.
It's going to be tough.
City's not far, but I'm sure they're going to fly there. But yeah.
No, it's going to be tough. We've got. That's why I'm saying that. There's no point rubbing it in now because now is the final home stretch. Let's just concentrate on guiding.
To be fair, though, the games you've got now, you've got really tough. In my eyes, I think very tough. So Liverpool away, tough game.
Yeah,
and then obviously West Ham away, Southampton at home. The teams that I think sometimes every team struggles are the teams that are fighting for relegation.
Yeah,
because they just want to sit tight and make it ugly.
West Ham could be a tricky game as well.
West Ham could be a tricky game. Then City a game. Chelsea at home, obviously that'll be tricky in itself because Chelsea will hopefully be up for it. But again, we've got no striker, so 0-0 is the best I'm hoping for, or a draw. And then Newcastle away, Brighton at home. Newcastle away is another tough game.
Those are two games that I'm not looking forward to because St James's Park. Even my dad said the same thing. He was like, they're going to eat our players, and again, it just comes to.
Because you drew 0-0, didn't you, at the evening kickoff? Kickoff.
Yeah. I was going to say, it sort of, it shows now that, the theme of the season has been, all right, what other challenges can we overcome? Yeah. And to go to St. James's Park and not be affected too much by the fans, by the screaming 50,000 Geordies screaming at you from every angle that you look. That's another challenge because obviously, remember what happened last season. We went to Newcastle, they beat us, and then we just went downhill from there. We lost against Tottenham.
Yeah.
So we lost top four because of that Newcastle game, to be fair. Obviously, there's more to it than just that, but as a brief analysis. So yeah, it's a tough run of games. Liverpool, I'll give you a quick prediction then. I'm probably going to say at Anfield, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be like a 3-2 or a 4-2 or a 4-3 or something along those lines.
Wow.
It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a high scoring game, but if Liverpool played like the way that played today, then I'm a bit more confident.
If they play anything like today, I think he'll smash him.
I'm a bit more confident, but I don't think
Jota's
so.
got to play for Liverpool. He looked lively. Yeah. Firmino's got to play. I think Jota, for me, for Liverpool against Arsenal, I'd have Jota left,
Firmino centre, Salah on the right. Yeah,
I'll have them three.
The classics that have always buried us. Yeah, they've always buried us.
Even Bobby Firmino today was really good. He found pocket. He was able to get away from N'Golo Kante in the defensive midfielder like Enzo. He was very good. So it'll be a very good game next week. Well, not next week, Sunday.
Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, Sunday, half-hour kickoff.
So it should be good.
It should, yeah, I think so as well. I mean, in terms of, we're probably gonna come back.
We'll do predictions. Yeah, we'll do predictions on a Thursday night or something because I'm going to come up north and be up north as of tomorrow night. I'm driving up.
Cool.
So I'll be up there till about Sunday.
Right, that's good.
Also,
that's good. We can do
meet or do something live together, or even still, we'll do. I'll take my laptop and my stuff with me though.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, we'll do predictions on the Thursday. In terms of the football, I don't really have much to add. Just obviously, the stuff that we already discussed. I do want to touch on the F1 real quick before we do bounce. Though, I don't know if you watched any of the race. Obviously, it was a bit early. It was 6 o'clock in the morning.
I did see the race. Crazy.
I mean, 4 red flags by the end. It's complete madness.
It was, but don't you think player safety obviously was good that they did that? Because didn't Felipe Massa crash onto debris before, and he just came and smashed his helmet or something?
Yeah, that was.
So he had to be done because I know Verstappen came out saying, "Joke, why have we been stopped? Shouldn't have to stop." You just can't risk it. You don't know whatever there is. Piece of carbon fiber at that speed that they're hitting the corners at 200 mile an hour could be super risky. So
put it this way.
For me, 3 red flags made it a bit more exciting as well to watch.
100% it did, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
I love those restarts again.
Now, the thing is with the debris, when Albon crashed, he sort of crashed into the barrier and went on the I think it was the gravel pit or the sand pit, I think one of the two. But as soon as he crashed, I mean, all that sort of debris from the back of the tires was going onto the track, and I can't remember who was right behind him, and he had to sort of avoid because his vision wasn't too clear, and obviously there was debris flying at him. So yeah, it's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous, and those red flags are there for a reason. And I'm glad that the F1 have strict policies when it comes to red flags. And obviously it added to the excitement because it just got really boring, especially first Max Verstappen just fucked off. He just did one. After he overtook Lewis Hamilton, he just fucked off and he did one. But the rest of the field, that was interesting. You had Lewis Hamilton obviously finished second, which great to see him on the podium, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that as well, yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Fernando Alonso, again, so we had 3 world champions on the podium, and I think that's just exciting. When you say it out loud, that's just exciting because this could be a tremendous season for what's left of the season, like 20 races. 20 races left.
Yeah. Well, speaking of 20 races, what's happened to the Chinese Grand Prix? Why has that been cancelled? Do you know any news on that?
I think
because it was supposed to be on the 14th and it's not on.
I don't think that got renewed. Yeah, I don't think that got renewed as a contract, to be honest with you.
Right. Okay.
And plus, obviously, they had Vegas coming up as well, which that should be an interesting race to watch. So it's a jam-packed calendar, and obviously, maybe there's some political stuff with China that we don't know and are above our pay grades. So
yes.
So yeah, let's not speculate on that type of stuff. But look, the race itself, I don't want to spend too long on it because, again, it was boring for the majority of it. But I just want to say, first of all, I want to say that my boy Yuki, finished 10th, got point, and his teammate, De Vries, ended 15th, he did not even finish. So that was a DNF from De Vries, by the way. He can suck massive eggs. And pickled ones as well, by the way. Pickled eggs. Yes. But yeah, at the end, look, let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers DNF'd.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
8 drivers DNF'd, and that was exciting. I felt bad for George Russell though because I thought he really had a good chance, but that exhaust, engine failure was just too much for him, man. And yeah, it was disappointing. Same as Albon as well because he's actually been racing really well. So both two sort of good drivers, not great drivers, good drivers went out. Where I thought Albon could have fought for 9th or 8th, maybe with a Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri. But
apologies for that noise.
No, it's all right. And so overall, I don't even want to talk about Ferrari, to be honest, because what's the point? I don't want to get vexed. I
don't think they need to mention.
It's 11 at night. I don't want to get vexed. Yeah, I don't want to go to bed angry. So that's the whole point. Is that what they tell us? Don't go to bed angry. Yeah,
don't get to bed angry. Yeah.
But Sergio again started from the pits, ended up 5th. Sergio Perez started from the pits, boom, 5th, and he had an incredible drive, and he actually got the fastest lap as well, which took that 1 point away from Max. Hey, any point,
a lot.
That's your teammate right there. That's your teammate right there. You know what I mean? That's your boy. But Oscar Piastri, but both McLarens, by the way, they actually did quite decent. Norris in 6th, Piastri in 8th. Obviously, the DNFs and the sort of grid penalty for Carlos Sainz helped. Not the grid penalty, the 5-second penalty for Sainz helped the rest of the drivers. And especially Yuki, because Yuki, obviously, he was actually 11th. He would have ended 11th. Sainz got taken down to 12th. That means, obviously, he got his first point of the season. So I'm genuinely happy if I remove myself as being a Ferrari fan.
Well, just to make it here as well, I'm just looking at the standing order. Yeah. Nick De Vries is on the 20th driver, all the 20. Ooh. And Yuki is 16th with 1 point. Obviously, Max first with 69 points.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, like other drivers, Nick De Vries is the only one who hasn't scored point.
Yeah, I think with Nick De Vries, I think he needs to go back and watch that interview that he did with Netflix and just apologize. Apologize. Just put that on Twitter.
Come out and just say,
why did I talk shit? Sorry, yeah. I'm sorry for talking shit because now it's backfired on me. And yeah. But, and obviously, did you see the crash between the two Alpines?
Yeah.
What do you think? Who do you think was at fault for that? From what you saw, what do you think?
Because I'm sort of Gasly. Because he just kind of I think Gasly? Yeah, Gasly was in front. And instead of Ocon, and I think he was trying to leave room for the guy overtaking on the left or undertaking, whichever way you want to look at it. And for that reason, then he just moves across with that. I don't know. Why would you move across like that when it's so jam-packed, so congested in there? He should have just stuck to his line and said to the other guy, listen, bro, if you're going to overtake me, but you're going to go on the gravel because I'm not risking moving away from this line here because there's cars everywhere. And for me, I blame Gasly.
I get it because Gasly should have paid more attention to what was happening on the right hand side. But like you said, because there was that many cars, he was concentrating on the left, and these cars are super fast. You know what I mean? So obviously, by the time he looks left and then looks to the right, Ocon's already there. But
split seconds, yeah.
But my argument is, and I said this to our mate in the group as well, I said to him, yes, Gasly was, obviously, I'm not saying he wasn't at fault. However, Ocon, knowing what we know about Ocon and the last few seasons that he's had against his teammates, he's always crashed into his teammates. Now, I think Ocon really wanted to send that car on the outside, obviously, on Gasly's right-hand side.
Yeah.
And I just don't think I can put that much blame on Gasly, because at the end of the day, that's your teammate Ocon. So if you're trying to squeeze in that position, then that's both of you's out. That is not a team. That's not a team performance.
Not a team strategy. That's not a good team performance.
Not at all. And it was disappointing because Gasly was actually doing really well. Gasly was doing really well. But I feel Ocon probably shares 60% of that blame. I'll be honest, just from what I've seen of Ocon.
No, that's fine, and I can see what you mean from that. But for me, it's like you said, a key thing there.
The rule is the rule.
Because it's so fast, he looked left and then he looked right. But just because you look right doesn't necessarily mean you need to move right. You need to look first and then move. It comes back to that highway code.
No, I agree.
Signal maneuver. Do you know what I mean? So for that reason, and I never thought about Ocon in the previous races, but yeah, you're right with that as well, because it is competition between these two drivers. He probably did think, "Oh, this is my opportunity to go," and because of that, he shouldn't. The blame should be shared. The blame should be shared. I think a 50-50 on the both. Yeah,
in terms of a driving incident, yes, obviously Gasly was at fault because the rules of the road. Basically, that's what he wasn't following.
Yeah.
At the same time, obviously, if someone's not following the rules of the road in front of you when you're driving down the motorway, and he's sort of zigzagging all over the place, that doesn't mean that you're going to overtake him, because let him do his thing. Just hold back a little bit because the cars were that close together. They would have.
There were sardines in that corner. There were sardines, bro.
Turn 1, 2, and 3 were just ridiculous because obviously that's where Leclerc went out at the beginning as well. But again, Leclerc at fault. At fault. What's he doing moving like that? Why is he moving? Why is he moving into the actual track? So yeah.
Can I just say on the first turn though, George Russell, the way he kind of went past Max Verstappen, that was fantastic.
That was a brilliant start.
Such a brilliant overtake.
Unbelievable. And I thought he would have had. He definitely would have had a podium finish. I think.
Yeah,
he would have ended up above Hamilton.
I'm excited to see what Azerbaijan brings. Obviously, street circuit. See if Mercedes can keep the pace, and then I'm happy to see that rivalry, Max Hamilton again.
And Alonso in the mix because obviously Hamilton and Alonso had their own rivalry.
Hamilton and Alonso in their own rivalry. Yeah.
Teammates,
So
rivals, whatever it is.
Super excited for
that. If Sergio Perez performs the way that he's been performing, and the other two cars in Hamilton, but even Russell, by the way, because even Russell's throwing his hat into the mix, and Alonso. If all these sort of go, these have got the potential to make it more interesting. These little factors, like you said, like the Lewis and Alonso previous rivalry that they had, and now they're fighting for second and third. It's like, what? Wait, we've got a 7-time world champion, we've got a 2-time world champion here, and it's going to be just interesting because Alonso, I feel, is probably a little bit more of an experienced driver than Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I think Alonso's got some tricks. The old dog's got some new tricks up his sleeve. You know what I mean, with the Aston Martin.
Yeah.
And the fact that he loves driving that car, and he's come out and said it. Yeah, I think Alonso's going to be well in that third position. Yeah,
the only downside with it is it's 24th of April, and you're like, oh, waiting that long. I was hoping 2 weeks.
20 days. It's 20 days from now.
Yeah.
And screw that. But we'll talk about some other stuff as well.
No, certainly. Well, I think we should do another episode. Obviously, we've got to come to everybody's stimulate their ear holes later in the week once we do predictions, because obviously some big games coming up.
Yeah.
See what's happening with them, especially Sunday's game. That's a big game. Big game.
Definitely. So, obviously, apologies because the podcast episodes, but because there's half term and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the UK. So yeah, we have to make some time. But that's not an issue because we'll always be in your ear holes.
We'll always be. There's always be something.
That sounded wrong, didn't it?
You sounded wrong saying we'll be in your ear holes. You're on your own there. I will be where I am. My voice will probably be around the globe.
Yes, definitely.
But
yeah, I think
physically, I am staying here.
Yeah, you're not moving. But yeah, we'll bring it to an end. Thank you so much for listening, for subscribing, for liking whatever you're doing, and for recommendations and all that kind of good stuff. And we will catch you on the next one. Rick? Good night.
Good night, man. Yeah, good night from me as well. Stay safe, stay alert, the usual stuff. So good night, everyone. Catch you on the next one.